Yes, everyone, how are we doing? And welcome to the match preview for the Manchester Derby. Yes, it is the big one. Manchester United versus Manchester City tomorrow morning, 12:30 at the Swamp. Manchester City go to Old Trafford and hope to complete a league double. Listen, I am in Derby Day mode. I am ready for this game. I am buzzing for this game. I'm up for it. I can't remember last time I felt this confident coming into a Derby Day. Now, before I get properly into discussing everything about tomorrow's big game, I'm just going to say it now, nice and early. Subscribe to the channel, please, please, please subscribe. I always say it at the end of the video, I forget to say it at the start, and as you can imagine, people aren't really watching half an hour into a video, which fair enough, I understand it. So I'm going to say it now, nice and early. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, stick a thumbs up on the video if you enjoy it. Let me know now your early score predictions ahead of the game in the comments. Let me know your thoughts, feelings ahead of it. And let's get into discussing this big game. Now, as I just said at the start of the video, I can't remember last time I felt this level of confidence coming into a Manchester derby. You know, the past few of them, you felt a little bit nervy, a little bit uneasy. Of course, the thing is, it's Derby Day. Anything can happen in a derby. We know that, fair enough. You know, United, despite how poor they are, they do sort of raise their levels every now and again when it is a big game like this, despite the fact they all like to pretend that it's Little City and they don't care about us. They don't care about us until they beat us, and then it's the best day in the world. They like to play all, put all that "we don't care" act. Deep down, we know they do. The ones from Manchester, the ones from the local area, yeah. Some of the London ones might not. Some of the Irish ones might not. You know, that haven't grown up in the local area, being in the local schools, whether you're blue or red. Some of them might not care. But the Manchester fans, the Manchester United fans, they know. They care. Deep down, they care. And like I said, they could get up for it. They might. But I still think as long as Manchester City play at their best, which we have been somewhat doing, to be fair. Listen, that last game against Newcastle was fantastic. I made a post-match reaction to that. So if you're not seeing that, feel free to check it out. I thought we were brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Showing a lot of character in that second half, a lot of belief, a lot of fight, and a lot of quality. And if we have that same level of quality that we showed in the second half of that game, in any half of the Manchester derby, I think we'll have enough to go there and beat Manchester United. I really do. Because the thing is, you look at our form coming into it, I think we're 14 unbeaten at the moment. 13 or 14 unbeaten. Manchester United, on the other hand, are a complete mess. The clubs they're at two massive opposites at the minute. City, things are on the up, things are feeling good. Our investments, whether that be the summer transfers, the likes of Ryan Cherki, Donnarumma, Tajani Reiners, look incredible. Even our January signings, I say, yeah, because Max Elaine we recalled from loan. I kid that. You know, we knew very little about. It was a shot in the dark. It was something that we did out of just being desperate for centre halves because of the injuries we've got. And he's been quality. And then the star January signing, Antoine Semenyo, only been here 10 minutes. He's played 2 games of football, 2 goals, should be free. We won't talk about VAR in this one. 1 assist to go along with it. He's been incredible. What a start he's had. So we're on fire. The players are playing well. Pep Guardiola looks happy as ever, despite all the reports trying to push him out. You know, all these people wanting him to leave the league, all these journalists and that. He looks happy. He seems happy. He seems up for it. And Manchester United, on the other hand, they've been drawing with Burnley, been drawing with Wolves. That's the 2 bottom teams in this Premier League. They've just been knocked out of the FA Cup. They were knocked out to Grimsby in the Carabao Cup this year, the competition that we're in a 2-goal advantage of in the second leg of the semi-finals. Looked like inevitable that we'll be playing in the final this year. Honestly, it's never been so different. Michael Carrick took over. Yes, Michael Carrick. You know, interim Amram has been sacked. It is all going off for the 2 clubs, 2 complete separate, opposites. And on the blue side, our side, my side, things are on the up. Things are looking good. So, yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident. Now, of course, in this fixture, Derby Day, earlier in the season, Manchester City, the feeling was completely different coming into that game. Like I said, full of confidence right now. Back then, in September, I think it was our 4th Premier League game of the season. I'm not saying I didn't think we'd win, because I did. I come into every game thinking we'll win, especially against them. Like, I always back us to win. No matter what, don't care. I will always believe deep down that City will win the game. So I'm not saying I didn't think we'd win. But the confidence, the level of excitement about watching us play, completely different. We came into Derby Day at the start of this season, as I said, 4 games into it, off the back of an international break, off the back of 2 bad results for us. We lost to Tottenham 2-0 at home. We lost to Brighton 2-1 away. That was 2 losses on the bounce. Of course, that we started off the season in fine form against Wolves, battered them 4-0. We thought, wow, that's an incredible performance. since then we've realised that, okay, maybe Wolves aren't the team we thought they were. But listen, coming into it a little bit uncertainty, a little bit panicky, thinking, oh, please don't do this again. You think of last season when we played him at the Etihad and we fell apart, that 2-1 last-minute disaster, the howler from Matheus Nunes, someone who looks a complete different player to that Derby day compared to the one that I'm expecting him to play like in tomorrow's Derby day. It's totally different feelings. At the minute, this is the best football I've seen City play since, I go as far as to say even, maybe our last time we won the Premier League, maybe even before that, because we're on fire. It's at least on the eye anyway. We look incredible. The players we've got, the football we're playing, the back, the middle, the front, all over Donnarumma in it, like I said. This is the most exciting Manchester City we have seen in a fair few years, and I am loving it. I'm loving every single second of it. Now, that game that was on about before, the start of the season, the first Derby day or two of the season, we beat them 3-0 at the Etihad. It was incredible. It was beautiful. Donnarumma's first game in a Manchester City shirt, the excitement. He pulled off an incredible save for Mbeumo. He hit one on the volley when I think we were like 1 or 2-0 down already anyway, but Donnarumma pulled out a wicked save. City going forward, we're ruthless. We were brilliant. Scored 3 goals, like I said, a 3-0 win, a battering. Realistically, a 3-0 win is a battering, especially in a Manchester derby. In a derby day against your big rivals, 3-0 is a mammoth scoreline. And I think that City can do just that, if not even more this time. Even more this time, I really do. I think City can go there tomorrow and do a real number on Manchester United. I think there could be a few City fans that maybe don't feel the sense of positivity, the sense of confidence maybe that I do, because there are some arguable weaknesses in the Manchester City side at the moment, with the injuries that we've got, more so at the back. Like I said, we've recalled Max Allen, and I think he's been brilliant. But that is City's biggest weakness at the moment, you'd say defensively, because offensively, incredible. The plethora of options we've got that are all in great form. I think it's brilliant. The midfield is insane. Arguably the best midfield in the Premier League, with Rodri being back as well. You'd expect Rodri to start tomorrow as well. We look fantastic there. And defence, I think that's the one. I think that's probably where United fans might look at this City team, the ones that have any common sense and aren't deluded, might look at that team and go, okay, that is our only hope, maybe getting past that defence. But I've got a lot of confidence in this defence. I really do. I look at it, and the back four that I expect it to be, this is the back four I expect. So he might change it up. He might play Nathan Ake, but I don't think he starts. This is how I think we'll set up. Of course, Donnarumma in net, not including him. That goes without saying. Left back Nico Riley, I think it's been brilliant. I think out of, we've played some top teams so far this season. We've played Liverpool, we've played Arsenal. I mean, we've played everyone now, haven't we? It was second half of the season, what we on about. But I'm yet to see a proper good winger, a proper good attack kill O'Reilly this season. Yes, he's had a few small mistakes here and there. The one that comes to mind most recently is the Chelsea game where Malo Gusto got past him to put the ball into the box for Chelsea's last-minute equaliser. But other than that, maybe the odd 5 minutes concentration here and there. An overall game, I'm yet to see Nico O'Reilly just really, really, really be bullied, really be hurt by a winger. United might be getting excited about Mbeumo being back from African Cup of Nations, and I suppose that does make them a little bit stronger. I'm not saying it doesn't. He's a good player. But I don't worry. I don't look at Mbeumo and go, oh no, how are we going to cope with him? How are we going to manage? Because Nico O'Reilly's given me enough confidence in him, in what we've seen of him so far, in his time at Manchester City, since he's burst into this first team, since he's made that left-back position that isn't his natural position. And we've seen that even more so with his performance against Newcastle midweek. He's the midfielder by trade. Too right, he's the midfielder by trade. But this game, I'd have him still starting left-back again. I'm yet to see anyone really, really, really hurt O'Reilly. And I expect that to be the exact same. On the right-back, as I mentioned him before, when I spoke about last season's home derby day, Matheus Nunes' blunder, that cost us the 3 points there. He looks a completely different player. And I think that's some credit down to Pep Guardiola, some credit down to Matheus Nunes himself, of course, for the work they've put in, the way he's learnt the position, adapted the position, the intelligence of him clearly to just... Because, listen, he's not a born defender, is he? We signed him from Wolves as a midfielder, box-to-box midfielder, maybe even attacking midfielder. At Sporting, he was an attacking-minded player. He is an attacking-minded player. But the way he just fits this Manchester City system at right-back under Pep Guardiola is something like Philip Lahm. It's something like... I don't even know. He's just brilliant. He's just brilliant defensively, offensively. He's calm. He's not got that rashness to him anymore where you're watching him on the ball or you're watching him chase someone thinking, oh, no, panicking that he's going to make a mistake or he's going to cock us up or anything like that. I don't feel that anymore. I don't feel any sense of panic when Matheus Nunes at right back. Coming into this summer window, or coming into the season, all throughout the summer window, I'm included. was thinking, we've got to sign a right back, we've got to sign a right back, we've got to sign a right back. Despite the fact there was improvement in Matheus Nunes' game at the back end of last season, we still thought he's an option there, fair enough, but we still need a right back. I'm now of the opinion that I don't particularly care about signing a right back. If we did sign one, I won't be going, oh, that's a shame, we don't need one. We could maybe do with one. Certain games, what if Nunes gets injured? Maybe certain games where they've got a real top left winger. You think maybe the likes of Real Madrid coming up against Vinicius Junior, or maybe if we played PSG or someone like that, you might think, okay, fair enough. Having a top right back defensively, a natural right back might be the play. But if we don't sign one, which I don't think we will, I'm fine with that. Matheus Nunes has been brilliant so far this season. I think we're missing a lot of City fans. He's been given his flowers, fair enough. But I think from a lot of the fans outside of Manchester City, a lot of the Premier League fans, I don't think they've given him his respects for the improvements in his game, how good he's been. I heard Gary Neville speak about it in the most recent podcast, The Overlap. He was saying about Matheus Nunes, the improvement, how he's seen he looks like a completely different player to last time. And he does. He's came on leaps and bounds. And as I said, it's a credit to both him and Pep Guardiola. So United fans might be looking at City defensively thinking, out wide anyway, oh, we can punish them. We've got Ahmad. We've got Mbremo. I don't fear them. Despite that, neither of our fullbacks are natural left back and right backs. They're not natural wing backs. The improvement, the intelligence, the coach in Pep Guardiola that has drilled them to learn the position so well. I don't fear it. And then the centre halves, yes, listen, I think City should probably still go out there and sign a centre half. Whether Gahey deal gets done by the day, by the minute, I'm thinking this probably isn't going to happen. And if it isn't, it isn't. You can't force him to join the club. If you don't want to join, you don't want to join. There's better centre halves out there. He's seen the most likely, he's seen the most suitable one, seen the most realistic one, with his contract situation at Crystal Palace. But if it ain't going to happen, it ain't going to happen. I'm not going to lose sleep over Matt Gahey not joining. I think we might need one for depth, but the only centre half partnership we can really go. I suppose Nathan Ake, like I just said, he's an option, but I wouldn't be benching Max Lane. I would not be benching Max Lane. I think, he's been here for 3 games. He started all 3 games against Brighton, that 1-1 draw. He didn't put a foot wrong. He was one of City's best players. Just checking the flag still up behind me. Yeah, he was one of City's best players. Against Exeter, of course, got his goal. Didn't play him the full game. He did as good job as any defender could do in Exeter. They didn't cause as much of a threat, did they? But Newcastle United, I was so impressed with Max Lane at the back. That partnership as well, him and Kusanov, I may as well bring him into this conversation because, with Kusanov, we already know the quality that's there. We've seen a lot more of him. Not as much as a lot of fans probably wanted to see of him, especially the Uzbekistani City fans. They were fuming about the lack of football Kusanov's been getting, but we've seen more of Kusanov as of late, and he looks ready. Max Lane looks ready. He looks on it. And yes, I know this is a big occasion, but I think it's one that you can thrive off. We've seen City youth players go into Manchester derbies or big games like Arsenal, Liverpool, whatever, and thrive off it. They've come through the academy. They know what it means. Phil Foden, of course, the best example of it. But you look at Nico O'Reilly, now a constant first team player. In the first team, the first game I remember watching him properly, not from me going to the youth games, was the Manchester derby in the Community Shield, and I thought he was ace in that. Rico Lewis has turned up in derbies, games against Arsenal, shown character, shown fight. I think he's a player I admire so much. I know Pep loves him. They probably didn't get the football he deserves. And I know it's a little bit controversial with a lot of City fans. There's mixed opinions on Rico Lewis, but I love him. I love Rico as a footballer. I love his passion. I love his passing. I love his energy, especially his energy. I think he's brilliant. So yeah, anyway, I think this is an opportunity for Elaine to thrive off, and I think it's one that he definitely will. And it's also, yes, City's defensively might be the so-called weakness of the game, but I look at United's attack. The striker, Sesko, I don't rate him. The attacking midfield, they got Mason Mount. Yeah, Bruno Fernandes, fair enough, but he plays a little bit deeper. He's not exactly a 10, is he? I don't look at Manchester United's attack and go, oh, they can really hurt us defensively, or we've got to really care. And I know this is a lot of talking, and I hope the boys back it up, and I hope I don't make myself look an idiot, but I don't fear the level of United's attack going up against the level of City's defence. I don't. I think we can go there and keep a clean sheet. 2 clean sheets in 2 Manchester derbies this season. I really see it happening. And if they do manage to get past Max Lane and Kusanov, they've got to get past Donnarumma, which is a task. It is a task. He's been brilliant so far for Manchester City. I love him. He's had a week off, so 2 cup games on the bounce. He'll be ready. He loves it. He just gets it. One of the things that I've loved and admired about him already instinctively, as soon as I seen him, I was like, okay, this fella gets it. Running to South Stand, clapping the fans, loving his flag. After every goal, what he's like with us, he's just a player who gets it. He just gets it. He thrives off it. The passion behind him, the love. You can see he's a hungry winner. He's a born winner, and I love him. And like I said, they've got to get past him. Anyway, speaking about City's defence, I want to speak about City's attack, because I think this is a real talking point for the game. It's a controversial one, you could say. It's something I've spoke on my TikTok. Go and check that out if you're not already. And I imagine most people watching this already follow me on TikTok. It is like my biggest social media thing. But I made a 7 minutes video talking about it. And I wasn't planning on talking about it for 7 minutes, but when I got into it so much, and there was so much to be said, I just kept going and going and going. So I don't want to spend 7 minutes talking about it on here. If you want to hear me full in depth talk about it, then go over to TikTok. But it is the thing of who we'd start out of: Semenyo, Doku, Cherki, and Phil Foden. Then 4. We start 3. Because, of course, Erling Haaland goes up top. And then it's like, who do you start the 3 behind him? Of course, 1 in the middle, 2 wingers. There's 4 options there. Honestly, it is a headache for Pep Guardiola. Of course, a good headache to have, a good problem to have, but one that, regardless of who he chooses, I'm expecting it to be some level of meltdown. In general, I don't think he can please everyone, of course. There's fan favourites. I mean, Phil Foden is someone who's been getting a little bit of stick from some City fans online. His performances, I wouldn't say they've been too poor by any means, but the other players in and around his position have probably outshone him. So that might be what it is. But he's someone that, he might be my favourite player. He's someone who gets it, grown up, a blue, loves it, always turns up on Derby Day. I just love Phil Foden, and I think a lot of the local fans love and adore Phil Foden. He's ace. He's brilliant. Semenyo, as I said, he's joined the club like a house on fire. He's been brilliant. Jeremy Doku, pre-injury, post-injury, all season, he's been brilliant. Some of City's biggest games this season, the big occasions, he's been one of City's best players in all of them. You think of Liverpool at home, the champions coming to the Etihad, it was probably the best game I've seen from Doku in a Manchester City shirt. He was brilliant. And then you've got Ryan Cherki, who, another summer signing, again, like I said, with Semenyo, like a house on fire, instantly. I mean, I've not seen Cherki put in many bad shifts, to be honest. Every time he's on the ball, he looks creative. I think he's been City's best creator this season. Losing Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, listen, last season didn't get a lot of football, De Bruyne, did he? Had a fair few injuries, he was out of the team, he's ageing. But I think Ryan Cherki, as in a creative role, is shone for City so far this season. He's been City's most dangerous midfielder, City's, as I said, best creator. And he wants to kill Manchester United. They were his words when joining the club, before kicking a ball for the club. He spoke about wanting to kill Manchester United. They were his words, Kill, kill Manchester United. And I hope he does. Of course, the first derby this season, he was injured, which was so unfortunate. I was gutted for that. But he's got to start. He's talked the talk. I want him to walk the walk, and I do believe he will. He's got that arrogance about him, a good arrogance, a brilliant arrogance, an attitude about him, but a brilliant attitude. One that people were saying, oh, he's going to clash with Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola won't have that. Pep Guardiola's embraced it. He has embraced it. No matter what the questions, they try and ask Pep, they try and get certain answers out of him. And listen, Pep is probably the most sarcastic manager in the Premier League. He has been since he's got here. And sometimes he'll feed into it and have a laugh with the press. Sometimes he just doesn't entertain it. But Ryan Cherki's he's ace. And I think, in a game like this, he's just got it. He's just got that about him. I think he can rise to the occasion. And of course, he's already done the business against Manchester United. And that's what he wants revenge for. That's what he wants to kill them for. He wants revenge for them knocking out Lyon last season in the Europa League. And what they did now, looking back, losing in the final, that was more fun than anything, wasn't it? So, yeah. As I said, Cherki's talked the talk. Time for him to walk the walk. So, who do you drop out of them for? That is the real question. And from what I have seen online, now I'm filming this on Thursday night to get it out first thing Friday morning. But from what I've seen so far, and I say the hour since what I've posted on Instagram and TikTok about that question, who would you drop out the for? Phil Foden seems to be the most common answer, which I kind of expected. Like I said, he's been getting a little bit of stick online from City fans. He's out of the 4, probably the most out of form. But I can't drop him. Maybe, listen, Pep might, and if he does, I'm not going to go, how have you dropped Phil Foden? Realistically, if you look at it and you remove all love and attachment to him and all, take away the fact that in my brain it's like, okay, it's like having one of us on the pitch. He gets it. He's stock puts and Iniesta. He's one of our own. You take that away, and listen, you number them 1, 2, 3, and 4. If Phil Foden's number 4, he's been the most out of form player so far in the past, week 2, 3, whatever. So it makes sense. But I can't take away that attachment. I can't take away that love and the thought of having one of us on the pitch there, Phil Foden, grown up as a kid, 8 in Manchester United, arguing with his mates in school. You know, you're either red or you're blue in Manchester, and Foden's always been blue. We've seen interviews of him, 6 years old, 7 years old, talking about Balotelli's attitude, that video that gets resurfaced every 6 months. As I said, grown up hating Manchester United, grown into an adult, now a fully grown man, he's mid-20s with his Manchester City team, won the lot, been a huge player in the club's success. He's completed football at club level, and he's tortured Manchester United over the years. He's battered United. He's given nightmares. He loves this game. He loves Derby Day. He loves the occasion. And that is why I simply cannot drop Phil Foden. I can't. Despite the fact, he's not been at the level recently of, for Manchester City. I think if there's any game that Phil can get up for, it's this one. He always shows up for the Manchester Derby, and I think he'll do it again. I just do. So then the question you ask yourself is, well, who do you drop? You've either dropped Semenyo, who's been ace. I've said ace a lot this video, haven't I? Yeah, it's not even one of my usual words. That what I'm about. You either drop Semenyo, who's been unbelievable so far in his 2 games in a City shirt. And again, another player, like I said, with cherki, he's already done it. I mean, this season, Semenyo's already scored against Old Trafford. A few weeks ago, Semenyo scored against Old Trafford, or at Old Trafford against United. You either drop him or you drop Jeremy Doku. And the conclusion that I came to was dropping Jeremy Doku, which sounds mental, but my thought process is Semenyo was City's biggest goal threat when Erling Haaland isn't firing. If Haaland's not having the best game, which he's not having brilliant games of football at the minute, but listen, again, someone else who gets it. If anyone turns up for a Derby Day, it's Phil Foden and Erling Haaland, them two. I mean, remember that 6-3, but the pair of them scored a hat-trick in the same game against United. More of that, please. But yeah, if Haaland isn't firing, then Semenyo was probably our biggest goal threat. Ryan Cherki is our best creator, and Phil Foden, when he's at his best, is our best footballer. Matter of fact, yes, he's not shown it in the past, 12, maybe even 18 months, but when he is at his best, he's one of the best footballers in world football. And as I said, I can't remove the attachment and the love of thinking, okay, he's our star boy, he's one of our own, he's the one who gets it, he gets the occasion more than any other player can. And he's done it before against him, so I can't do that. And then you look at Jeremy Doku, my other thought process with it is the impact off the bench. If all 4 of them players are starting, let's just say all 4 of them can start one way or another, and you had them exact 4 players, 2 of them copy and pasted them to bring off the bench, I think Doku's the best. He's the best out of them 4 to bring off the bench. He's the best impact. Jeremy Doku's a one-on-one dribbler, a tricky player to defend against. Arguably the most toughest player in the Premier League to defend against for these fullbacks. And Deleuze, United's fullback as well. He's hardly any good as a. You bring on Jeremy Doku in a 60th minute, 65th minute against Manchester United, let him run rings round Deleuze, let him run rings round Mazraoui, whoever it may be, whatever the centre half may be. Jeremy Doku would be a nightmare to play against. Fresh, excitable, you know what I mean, speedy, just ready with a point to prove it. Especially if he's being dropped and Semenyo's just been bought, he will feel that fire in him. He's got a point to prove. Whoever's been dropped out of them will come on the bench, and all of them will have a point to prove. But I just think 60th minute, 65th minute, bringing Doku on fresh legs against tired legs with that lack of ability, I think that'd be my go-to. But I think the most popular answer probably is at the minute, drop Phil Foden, which I hear it, fair enough, but I just can't do it. I don't have the balls to do it. I'm sorry, I just don't. I mean, I've basically ran through the entire starting lineup, so I may as well just read it all out now, what I would start, because I've given you the whole defence and I've given you the attack. So it's obviously Donnarumma in net, goes without saying. The back 4, like I said, Nico Riley left back, Matt Lane, give him a chance, throw him out there, let him rise to the occasion. Other academy players have done it before. Alongside Kusanov, Mateus Nunes right back, midfield Rodri, he's back, ready to start. Rested him. I know we came off the bench against Newcastle, but we looked so much calmer as well when he was on the pitch. You could just notice straight away the difference with Rodri on the pitch. The guy's got an aura about him. He's got a feeling about him that's just, he's incredible. He's incredible, Rodri. So he's got to start. Bernardo Silva, I think, has been one of Manchester City's best players so far this season. Been used as a little bit of a scapegoat early on, back off the back end of last season, because I don't know if it's because of Pep's attachment to him, Pep's love for him. He doesn't exactly get loads of goals or assists, you know what I mean? So people who look at the statistics, look at the goals and assists, the GA, and don't actually properly watch the game and have a feel for the game. You know what I mean? And they're looking at Bernardo thinking, oh, what does he do? an awful lot, more than a lot of the other players. Arguably the most on the pitch. The way he runs, the way he presses everything, his passing, his dribbling, his aggression, his temperament. He's the best wind-up in the Premier League. And in a game like this occasion, Manchester derby, and about getting in people's heads, winding people up, making players pick up yellow cards, changes how they could approach the game, the opposition. Bernardo Silva's the perfect player. We've seen it before in the past. We'll see it again. Bernardo's the perfect player for this type of game. I think Bernardo's got to start. Maybe Harsson and Sejani Reinders. I won't be surprised to see him come on relatively early into the second half, especially if things aren't exactly going our way. But Bernardo's got to start. And then it is that front four, like I just said. Foden, he starts in the middle for me, or on the right. Him and cherki just sort of interchange. Semenyo on the left, and then Erling Haaland up top. That's my back four. Not back four, that's my starting 11. What do I mean about back four? That is my starting 11. And I think, to be fair, that is near enough everything that I want to get into. I mean, I'm seeing it already over 30 minutes into this video, which will go down. This will end up getting posted as my longest ever video on YouTube. So listen, if you're still watching now, as I said at the start, most people won't be watching 30 minutes into the video, which isn't a dig at myself. It's not. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. You're not going to be watching. A lot of you aren't going to be watching a whole 30 minutes of me talk waffle. But if you are still watching at this point, then thank you. I appreciate it. And as I said at the start, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and everything I spoke to so far. Your score prediction, who you will drop out of them for. Let me know in here as well. As I said, the general consensus on TikTok and Instagram seems to be you're dropping Phil Foden. But there are shouts for others. There are shouts for all three of the others. As I said, whoever Pep chooses is going to upset some people. You can't please everyone. You can't start all four of them. So, you never know. Pep, you might come up with something. And if he does and it works, then he's a genius. He's a genius anyway, isn't he? But yeah, this is how I'm feeling. As you can tell on here, pretty confident, up for it. Of course, on the morning of the day, there will be them derby day nerves. You always get them, that just sick feeling at the idea of, if there is an upset, if United just turn up, despite how shit they are, if they turn up on the day. And they've done it before when they're playing even worse than they are now and beating better Manchester City sides and just causing upset. And it's the worst. There's nothing worse than losing at a derby. But at the same time, there is nothing better than beating them lot, especially in their own backyard. It's going to happen. I think we really will make it happen. It's Michael Carrick's first game. I mentioned him at the start of the video. Michael Carrick's first game. I think they've deliberately done that. I've already mentioned that before on other socials, that I've seen this coming a mile off. Not necessarily Carrick, hiring. It was always going to be an ex-player, whether it was Rue Van Nistelrooy or they're going to Solskjaer, Michael Carrick, or whoever else, Gary Bleeding Neville, whoever they were going to hire. I mean, the minute they sacked Ruben Amorim, I seen what they were doing. I knew exactly what they'd do. They brought in Fletcher for a couple games. Yeah, typical under 18s coach. Just put him in. He knows the club. You know what I mean? As everyone seems to need to know the club at the minute. They'll bring him in. They'll expect him to beat Burnley. Didn't happen. You know what I mean? Expect him to go to Turf Moor, the team that's 19th in the league. I think they've won, one game, maybe 2 games all season. Yeah, go and beat them. Didn't happen. FA Cup, surely at Old Trafford, the mighty Old Trafford, the theatre of dreams. You can go there. We can manage having an inexperienced Fletcher. Put him there just for the 2 games. You beat them 2. You're through to the next round of the Cup. Didn't happen. Up the Seagulls. That's forgiven now. Dropping points to him at the Etihad is now forgiven after that. And they thought, we'll bring in a Manchester United legend, someone who knows the club, someone who's played for the club, knows what it means to win a Manchester derby, knows what they need to win a Manchester derby. Been there, done it. And it'll get the fans up. It'll get them all excited. This fairy tale story. Michael Carrick's first game. You know what I mean? And then it's going to finish 3-0, sir. That's my score prediction anyway. I think we're doing 2 3-0s in the same season. I think we'll beat them 3-0. I think they're going to try and push this fairy tale story, this fairy tale, feeling. As I said, a former player, his first game back in management, and it's the Manchester derby. It's so fitting, and he's beating City. Nah, not happening. Can't allow it to happen. I'd love us to get a nice early goal. Haaland off the score sheet. 15 minutes into it, maybe even earlier than that. Shut it up. Not that exactly makes a lot of noise a lot of the time, Old Trafford anyway, but shut the fans up, shut everyone up, keep them quiet, make them realise that this ain't no fairy tale, this isn't a story, this is real life, this is reality. United aren't the team they think they are, they're not the club they think they are. The arrogance, the ego of the biggest club in the world, and at the minute, they're not even the best. They're not even the biggest club in Manchester. They're definitely not the best club in Manchester. They haven't been for a good decade. Manchester changed shades. They think it's red. It's a funny shade of red, isn't it? Manchester, they passed the baton over. They passed the baton over when Aguero scored that goal. And ever since then, yeah, they've won 1 league title since then. But the past decade, we're talking what, from 2016 onwards, the amount of trophies we've won, the Premier Leagues we've won, any record that they've had, we've bettered. The treble, we bettered. They had an opportunity to beat us in the cup final for that treble. They could have stopped it. 13 seconds it took us. 13 seconds, Ilkay Gundogan, it took him to put us into the lead at Wembley. We've had some great memories with them over the years. You know, David Silva, he scored the 5th goal at Old Trafford, 6-1. 6-1. And if you look more recently under Pep Guardiola, look, we've had so much fun against these lot over the years, haven't we? We've had some great occasions. We've done them at home. We've done them away. We've done them at Wembley, Etihad South. We've beaten them. We've beaten them to go and win trophies. We've beaten them to go and win leagues. We just had a lot of fun beating them. And I really do believe that this will be another one. An opportunity, like I said, to do the league double. You know, it takes me back to that quote that Sven said. What his job was, his request was from Man City fans when he took the Manchester City job. It wasn't to win trophies. It wasn't to, you know, win all these games and all that. He said his only ask from the Manchester City fans would beat them. Beat Manchester United. Do the double over Manchester United. And we did when he was there. And I think we'll do it again. So look, I've said everything that needs to be said in this video about the game. And I'm going to finish this video with my final message that I would say to the Manchester City players if I had the chance. I'd tell them, look, we have got an opportunity to do the double against Manchester United again this season. This game is massive. It is massive to the City fans. It is massive to the people of Manchester. It's your pride. It's your joy. It's walking into the pub at the end of the day and being able to laugh at your mates and have the bragging rights. Being able to walk into work on the Monday morning and have the bragging rights. Have the last laugh. This is a deep-rooted rivalry, a deep-rooted hatred between these two clubs. Goes way further back than me. This is about my dad, my granddad, hearing it off the mates constantly about how United are this, United are winning this, United are that. To now people my age growing up with City being the best team in Manchester, City winning everything that Manchester United have won, bettering Manchester United's records, beating everything, dominating this rivalry, dominating Manchester, dominating this country, conquering Europe for the first time in the club's history, winning the treble, bettering their treble that they thought they'd be the only team in this country to ever win a treble, and we've done it, and we did it in the process of beating them in a cup final. We've had some great memories laughing at them over the years. Some of them, while some of these players that we're playing on that pitch have been a part of, from beating them 6-1 at Old Trafford to win the league in that same season on goal difference, to beating them 6-3 at the Etihad, 2 of Manchester City's born and bred players, Erling Haaland and Phil Foden, scoring hat-tricks in them games, to then beating them in an FA Cup final, Gundogan scoring a goal after 13 seconds, 30,000 bucket hats thrown on the floor in despair. This means more. This is the Manchester derby. This is the fixture we look at the start of every single season and go, we've got to beat them. Look forward to this day, count down to this day. As I said at the beginning, it's your pride, it's your joy, it's bragging rights, it's making Manchester blue. Go out there and fucking batter them. And that right there would be my final message to the players. Hey, I proper got into that then. I could feel it. I've got goosebumps off my own speech. You know what I'm saying? Look at that, man. Come on, Pep. Come on. I won't charge. Just put me there. Let me shake every player's hands. Wish him good luck. I'll take a call. I'll be there tomorrow if you want. I'll take the call now. Anytime. And listen, look, I am actually going to leave it there now. But I meant everything I said. This is one of the 2 fixtures that you look forward to at the start of every single season. We beat them in the first fixture. This is the reverse leg. We've got to do them again. Bragging rights. It's everything. It's having pride in your team, pride in Manchester, making Manchester blue. I think we're going to go there. We're going to do it again. Beat them in their own backyard. Do the double over them. Embarrass them. I think the form we're in compared to the form they're in, can go to Old Trafford and do a real number on Manchester United. Come on, City. Please, please, please get the job done. Get the job done. Hammer them. Batter them, do whatever you've got to do. Just leave that swamp with 3 points. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you've not already. And yeah, I'll leave it there. And come on, City! Sorry, that was awfully loud. Apologies if you've got headphones in. Thank you. Bye.